Okay, it's November 18th, which means we've been traveling now on this road trip. Our 1 year road trip so far is 1 month. We left October 18th, and it's been suggested several times to get a map. I love it. When I was 19 years old, my first big trip alone as an adult was to Japan. I had a 1 year working holiday visa, but I ended up not working and just hitchhiking around the country for 2 months and spending all of my apartment deposit money on a big adventure. Point is, I did this with Japan 34 years ago. 1990, okay, 33 years ago. So here we go. We started up here. This is Rex's hometown of Mai Ai. Sorry for the shadow. Mai Ai. She lives in a village outside of the municipal town there. She lives just a little bit to the east in a village. First day, October 18th, took us from Mai Ai, hometown, where she has a house, beautiful modern house that she had built a couple of years ago, to Lampang, birthplace of her father, just an appropriate stopover. We spent 2 nights there. I'm going to go through the Google Map hours, it says, and kilometers. That's how I have this information. I made notes for this video. So it was 306 kilometers, it says, to Lampung, and more accurately, our place was about 15 kilometers to the north of Lampang, sorry, I always mix them up. There's Lampung province just south, and Lampang. I always mix them. And they're neighbors, and they're both neighbors of Chiang Mai province and very close to Chiang Mai City. Chiang Mai City is right... It's not that important. I mean, we lived there almost 2 years. Chiang Mai City is here, and it's about 3 hours. Because it's very curvy mountains here, the famous Pai is over here in Mae Hong Song with its also curvy mountain roads. But believe me, between here and here, it's just as curvy as the way to Pai. Pai is a very popular place with backpackers. It started off as a hippie town. It's not quite so hippie, but it definitely has its origins there, and you can feel it. And there are, 75-year-old hippies walking around still, but lots of young backpackers. Okay, so this is our first stop, and I got this bamboo stick given to me by the woman, the family. It was a homestay. She saw our small dog, and on my first walk to take Cactus for a walk in the neighborhood, she said, "Here, take this, because there are some soy dogs." Soy, as you know, means small street in Thailand. And whether they're street dogs or they actually just stand in front of their owner's house and are very protective, sometimes the dogs can be very aggressive. From Lampang here, we went to Phetchabun province, and a very nice mountain area, which, as it turns out, I didn't know, is the border region of Isan. And then everything was Isan, and look how big Isan is. Basically, this is Isan. This used to be part of Laos, and this is what Thailand, the old Siamese, got fighting the Laotian armies as this country Siam started to take the Lana region. This is where Rek is from. This is the north, very famous Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, Mae Hong Song. This is called Lana because this was an empire. This, in the old days, like Europe, this would be its own country. This had its own king, and that's called Lana. You may have heard in my writing, you may have read me mention Lana a lot because Rek is a Lana girl. So this is Lana. This is the northwest, the far north, okay? That's Lana. This is Isan. Look where, it's huge. It's probably 30% of the country. What should I show the whole thing? It goes down there, but you can see it's quite narrow, the Malay Peninsula to Malaysia. And you'll see more of that as the map progresses. I think I'll do the map update once a month. In Isan, we stay 1 week, 1 week, 1 week, 1 week, and then once we get further south, we stay month by month. Okay, so we stayed here, Phetchabun. It was my birthday. We stayed 3 nights. 700 baht. It was a beautiful place. It's called Lovely Farm. Again, outside of the main city and in the mountains, just gorgeous. Wonderful time. Can't say enough. Oh, I'll give you the kilometers. It was from Lampang to the place that I totally recommend in the mountains is called Khao Ko. It's very, very nice. It was 372 kilometer drive, but took about recommended 5 hours by Google Maps, but we like to stop a lot. And I should definitely mention that because we travel with our little dog, Cactus, and we like to give him exercise, take him for a walk. So usually if it says, say, 5-hour drive by Google Maps, it takes us 7 hours because we like to stop a lot and eat and give him walks. Okay, so from Phetchabun Mountains, the border area of beginning of Isan, probably 30% of the whole country of Thailand is Isan. This all used to be part of Laos, and this is where we are now. So from Phetchabun Mountains, we went to Khon Kaen. We stayed at a crappy place, the crappiest place so far. It's called Greenview Resort, and I do not recommend it, and I gave it a terrible review. It's laid out nice. It's just really old, and the AC didn't work, and the fan, the fan barely worked. So it was a very hot room, but I'll give you the stats on driving. So from Phetchabun to Khon Kaen was 273 kilometers, quite a bit of mountains. It's still mountains up here, even though we live in the mountains up here, but there's still nice mountains in Non and Uttaradit and Lampang for sure, and elephants and all that stuff. Okay, and so from Khon Kaen, then we went down to Korat and stayed a little bit north of Korat. So it was quite a short drive. What was that? That was about 170 kilometers and took just 2.5 hours. We did get lost because the place was up here and it was, again, outside the city, and there was a lot of construction. It was very confusing and we got quite lost. We had to call the owner, who was extremely helpful and actually came and to meet us so we could drive back to the homestay together. Very sweet of her. That was Korat. That was a homestay. And then we went to Sisaket over here. That was about a little over 300 kilometers, and supposed to take 4 hours. And where is Sisaket? Sisaket is, because we just continued. Well, we stopped in Sisaket, and if you watch the videos, we love Sisaket. Continuing on, it was the first time staying in a city, so that was interesting out of the whole trip so far. And then we went on to Ubon Ratchathani, and Ubon Ratchathani, again, we're staying 1 week, 1 week, 1 week, 1 week, and so it was our 3-year anniversary, so we thought, and we'd already paid, but it was so cheap, this place. It was only 300 baht a night, $8 a night. So we thought, let's do something special, and we got a hotel over near the Lao border, and it's a Bon Phu Kiang Nam Resort. It's a very nice area, big lake near the border. Even the border town is interesting because it's a mellow crossing. It's not the main one to Paksa, further north. you know, border towns can have bad reputations, but this one was charming as heck. So after that, we came here up to near Royet. Royet's here, and we're up. No, Royet's here, and we're up here at Isan Parazim Park. This is amazing. It's the budget resort. It's one of the last videos I did. It's really gorgeous. Totally recommend it. So that was about 179 kilometers and took about 3 hours. Sorry, once again, it took longer than 3 because we stop a lot. But yeah, so that's the trip so far in 1 month. Hope you enjoy the videos. Please subscribe if you do. It really helps us. Thank you.